Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the students, faculty, staff, and administration of UW Colleges Online and the University of Wisconsin's colleges, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this commencement ceremony for the class of 2015. My name is Dr. Christa James-Byrnes, and I'm the Interim Dean at UW Colleges Online. And on behalf of our exceptional faculty and staff, it is my great honor to welcome you to the celebration of an important milestone moment in the lives of our students and graduates. This inaugural graduation event for the UW Colleges Online is an important event that truly embodies and celebrates the heart and soul of the UW College's educational mission. As we begin today's celebration, I would like to take a few moments to introduce our distinguished members in attendance at today's event. To my left is Associate Dean of the UW Colleges Online program, Mike Bartlett. To my right, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs of UW Colleges Online, Bobbie Boettcher. And to my far right, Dr. Cathy Sandeen, Chancellor of the UW Colleges and Extension and today's keynote speaker. Finally, it is important that we take a moment to recognize the important role that the parents, family, friends, and significant others in your lives have played in your personal and academic achievement. Without their support and guidance and encouragement, many of you may not be graduating today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Cathy Sandeen.
Thank you very much, and it is my pleasure to be the keynote speaker at this graduation ceremony today. I know that those of you who have completed an online degree are very hardworking. It takes a lot of self-motivation in order to learn in this format. I am enormously proud of our faculty and staff who make this possible, and I'm very proud of the program, and we're proud that you are graduating today. I know that probably many of you selected an online program because you have a lot of things going on in your lives. You're juggling all the time. I myself went back to school after I was in a full-time job. I had 2 children at home. I commuted a long distance and did some distance education for my degree, and I know what it takes. And you should be enormously proud of this accomplishment. These were very challenging times in my life, but not a day goes by that I don't say to myself, it was all worth it. I really got my start through my education, and I know that you will feel the same way as well. So besides the accomplishment of earning this degree, I say keep on going. It's definitely worth it. Now, it's customary for a graduation speech to provide words of wisdom or advice for the people who are graduating, and I'll do the same. It's also customary that the graduates immediately forget those words of advice once they've heard them. So I'm going to try to counteract that. I'm going to keep my advice very simple, just 3 pieces of advice. So listen carefully, it's important. My first piece of advice to you is take risks. Take risks. And I don't mean the kind of risk like jumping out of an airplane type of risk, but life risks. And you're already pretty good at this. Even enrolling in this degree program, taking your first class, wondering what it would be like to be involved in an online program. Will I learn from my professors? All of those were risks, and I know you proved to yourself that you can do it. So you will encounter other circumstances in your life, other options that will provide you with similar risks that may be a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So look back at your time now and realize how positive it was, and take those risks. I think that's one of the ingredients for a meaningful life. Now, I have a quote for you from a woman named Helen Keller, and if you forget who she is, this is a woman who was born deaf and blind, and she grew up to complete her education, including being the first deaf and blind American to complete a full bachelor's degree. And about risk, Helen Keller had this to say: life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. And think about the risks that she had to take. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. So that's my first piece of advice to you. Take risks. My second piece of advice to you is give back. Give back. As we heard earlier, We have relied on others to help us through all the work and juggling that takes place for us to complete our degrees. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to accept help from others and be grateful for it. But I think it also creates an obligation, and that obligation is for us to give back to others. Now, I don't mean the type of giving back of giving $1 million to your favorite charity, but if you become so successful, I think some of you will, that you can do that, that's great. But giving back can be as small as giving a smile to someone who seems to need it. And I know many of you are very active volunteering and raising money for good causes, and that's great. And I encourage you to keep that up as you go through your life. It's very important. It gives you a good feeling in order to give back to other people. The American poet and essayist Ralph Waldo Emerson has said about giving back, quote, "To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have been successful." So that second piece of advice is give back. And my third piece of advice is be kind. Be kind. As I read the paper and look at various media these days, I'm increasingly dismayed by the amount of conflict and lack of civility that I see. I know that many of you have studied American history, and you know that one of the bedrock principles of our country is to foster open debate, but in a respectful, civil manner. What civility means is, even if I don't agree with you, I agree to listen to you and try to come to a meeting of the minds. I worry that we are losing that. I worry that conflict, mistrust, a lack of willingness to even enter into dialogue is hurting us. I know that within the University of Wisconsin, we stand for civility. And whether it's in a classroom or in an online format, we create an environment that fosters civil conversation. You have been exposed to both sides of ideas, you've debated both sides, you've studied with people who are completely different from yourselves. You have learned, you have come up with your own truth, and you've been able to do that because we believe in creating this sort of open, civil environment. At the end of the day, I believe civility is about kindness. It's about stopping for a moment, a nanosecond, to think about the perspective of the other person and to acknowledge that that person is a human being too. This is such an important trait. Again, as you go through your life and become as successful as I know you will, don't forget about the importance of kindness. As the author Henry James once said, 3 things in life are important. The first is to be kind, the second is to be kind, and the third is to be kind. How true. So that's it, my 3 pieces of advice to you. Take risks, give back, be kind. I hope you find this helpful. Again, congratulations to all of you on your great accomplishment. We're very proud of you, and please remember where you got your start. UW Colleges Online. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Sandeen. We are now to the point in our ceremony where we begin conferring of diplomas on those who are completing their Associates of Arts and Sciences degree. The Associate of Arts and Science degree is accepted by every UW baccalaureate institution and by every accredited college and university in the country. You have completed an extremely rigorous and demanding course of study that prepares you well for future educational and career endeavors. The Liberal Arts Associate degree represents both breadth and depth of preparation in a variety of arts, humanities, social sciences, natural and health sciences, and business disciplines. At this time, Associate Dean Bartlett and Assistant Dean Boettcher will be calling the names of the graduates from the UW Colleges online program.
Okay, our first one is Brianna L. Beals.
Justine Beck,
Ashley Bergner,
Kelly Bossart,
Tracy Catrazelli,
Robert Clifford,
Joel DePra,
Eric DeWitt.
Melissa Elsie Dorman.
Ann Drexler.
Megan Kelly Erickson.
Tiffany Fourier.
Laura Ray Frick.
Marcus D. Gibson.
Tricia Hanrahan.
Joseph J. Helsop.
Madison Heine.
Matthew J. Holmes.
Adam James Jackson.
Linda Mentz.
J. Mitchell Myers.
Amber A. Nageli.
Stephanie Lynn Ochoa.
Sadie Olson.
Camilla Ova.
Peter Christ Peterson.
Adrienne Can Penna.
Melinda G. Peterson.
John Pixarillo.
Linda Ray.
Michelle Schultz.
Denise Smith.
Amber J. Soto.
Maxine Melissa Stange.
Jacob Strauss.
Michelle Steele.
Sarah Swanson.
Jasmine Lee Valentin.
Michael von Newport.
Kristen Walther.
And Bodie Witzlib.
Richard Raymond Zielinski.
Thank you, Associate Dean Bartlett and Assistant Dean Boettcher. Congratulations, graduates. You've had great accomplishments, and I'm sure you will have more to come. By the authority invested in me by the University of Wisconsin Board of Regents and the University of Wisconsin College's Chancellor Cathy Sandeen, I hereby confer upon each qualified candidate the Associate of Arts and Science degree. Thank you for watching our graduation ceremony.